Hey everyone, so today we are making Max in the baci.bakes kitchen, prepping for our Halloween treat boxes. So yeah, I can't wait to show you the whole process because it's going to be an exciting one. Lovely, so here we have our egg whites. In our small saucepan we have our sugar and our water, which is going to eventually form the sugar syrup. Bowl number one is going to consist of egg whites, and when it's ready, the sugar syrup. Bowl number two consists of almond flour and confectioner's sugar. To make our paste, we are then going to also add egg white. Perfect, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure out my egg whites into bowl number one, which is eventually going to create the meringue. And I'm also going to measure out egg whites into bowl number two, which has my confectioner's sugar and my almond flour, because this bowl is going to create my paste. Again, key word is measure out. So here I do have my scale. Super important with making Max is to be as accurate as you possibly can. So I measured out my egg whites in bowl number one with the whisk attachment, and I've also measured out my egg whites in bowl number two. That's going to make my paste. Now let's work on the paste. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I mix this properly, which means that nothing is going to be unmixed. It's going to form a thick paste, and this is where you begin your arm workout when you make Max. So I'll show you in a little bit how it should look like at the end. So we're almost there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a butter knife or anything that could scrape my spatula, and I'm going to just make sure I take everything off my spatula just in case there's something all the way at the bottom that hasn't mixed in well. And I'm going to mix it up one more time, put plastic wrap on it to make sure any little moisture that there is there, it stays as is. Alright, so all covered, all ready to go to the next step. Okay, so the next step involves prepping the sugar syrup, if you will, the sugar and water mixture, as well as starting to whip up the meringue. Now, it is super important that you do this properly. One of the many things you have to do properly. If not, it won't work. Or they're not going to turn out fully full, or a billion things could go wrong. So if Max really intimidates you, don't worry. Just use my recipe. It is down to the T in regards to details, timing, consistencies, how much you have to mix it, how much does it weigh, so on and so forth. Everything is there. This is the recipe I obviously use, and sometimes I go months without baking Max, and I just pick it up. I follow every single detail to the T, and it works every single time for me. And full shells, super happy with the end result as well. Alright, so we did our simple syrup. I already poured it in, as you can tell here from the side. Now we are mixing up our meringue, and I'll show you when it's done. So in the meantime, I'm going to take a damp cloth and I'm just going to go and clean just to make sure there's no crumbs. There's absolutely nothing. It's super flat, super clean for when I pipe my Max. Again, it's just some tissue paper and water and just cleaning it up. Alright, so we're going to turn it off there, and I'm going to show you how our meringue should look like. So here is our lovely meringue. Look at that. Gorgeous. Here's the meringue. And now we are ready for the macaronage. Alright, so I'm almost done the first round of macaronage. And now I'm going to just scrape off everything off my spatula because I could see how I have some meringue and some of the paste that's not well incorporated for the first round. Finish up my last stirring reps, if you will, and round one is going to be complete and off to round two. So I kept on working, and now I am at the last step of putting the last bit of my meringue, and now I'm going to finish up the last set for the macaronage, and then we are ready to color and to pipe. Alright, so now I'm going to color. I have my 3 bowls ready to go. I'm going to try to separate it in evenly as possibly as I can into the 3 colors, color them, and then pipe. So I added my food coloring, and now I am going to be working with the one here in the bowl, so that means that the other 2 I am going to cover with plastic wrap just like this, just to make sure my batter doesn't dry out.